Corsair's Legacy Pirate Action RPG and Sea Battles is an early access game that at the time of recording is going to release in about 2 hours. Currently, you can download the demo to see, well, what are you going to get as this Pirate Action RPG and Sea Battles game? Well, I gotta tell you, the screenshots definitely intrigued me, and the trailer was so good, I had to stop early because I was afraid it would spoil the experience for myself. The description of the game is, get ready for Corsair's Legacy. It's an adventure in the Caribbean, the historical pirate life simulator. Sail the sea, engage in naval battles, and explore islands. Will you rise to become a legendary pirate, or meet your end at the hands of your enemies? The choice is yours in Corsair's Legacy. When I first started the game, I have to be honest, I was at first sort of impressed and then kinda disappointed. See, the presentation was a nice video, kind of like, welcome to this game, our early access title, not a big team, worked 3 years to make it. And then goes into talking about 2 other games that it's either gonna release or come to release based on the profits of this game.
And the earnings from the first game will be spent on the development of its sequel. We're also preparing for the release of another game in the world of Corsair's Legacy, in which you can immerse yourself in naval and land battles in the Caribbean. The project is called Corsair's Legacy Naval Mission.
What? Look, I understand that you may have a plan to do a lot more with this, but to take the demo of a game that hasn't released yet and to already be talking about not only another game, which I understand could have its own and different experience, but also the sequel? I don't think that was the best choice. I haven't ever, made my own game, put it into early access and done the whole thing, but I can just tell you, as somebody just checking this out, I already have less faith in you guys as developers that your attention will be to make this a good game because you're already hungry to move on. When you first start playing the game, there's this huge battle going on, and I understand that with everything I'm about to say with my overview of this game, that this is a demo of an early access title, but I gotta be honest, it looked pretty rough out there. Not the best to look at. I had a weird issue of pulling out my gun and shooting. I'm not sure exactly why it didn't work out right the first time, but I immediately went into sword combat. The sword combat is pretty basic. You hold spacebar to block, right is a heavy attack, left is a light attack, and then the middle is this kind of like area of attack. After finishing the first epic battle, or more so getting finished, it's actually on purpose to show and drive a narration that you are supposed to go back and talk about prior things that happened leading up to this moment. And that's about as interesting as this demo or story in this demo gets. Right after this, you're apparently gonna sail your ship to a location to meet up with somebody. I think we get our first time to control the ship. And honestly, got nothing bad to say here. Things work well. You can raise and lower the sails to go faster or slower, turn the ship, and there is just smooth sailing from there. Once we arrive at our destination, we still have to wait for the pirating friend and smuggler, Catherine, who has a lot of cargo.
It's worth noting that she had other strengths that certainly made up for a single flaw.
To pass the time, it's decided the captain will fight his crew members doing a little sword play. This is an opportune moment in the game to show you how good the swordplay is, but more so, it's showing you how not good it is. Once you're done sword seshing with the crewmates, you discover that another ship is approaching. Alas, it is not the Catherine schooner, but instead the Spanish, and this is our first taste of sea battles. The way that the battle goes is that you have 4 different shells to choose from. You can fire on the right or left side, and the idea is to damage or sink the boat. If you only damage it, then you can hop on or board the ship and start fighting the crew. After boarding the ship and fighting some pirates above deck, you'll take on some more down below and then fight the captain, all while looting and lockpicking. Once the captain is dead, you're usually rewarded with some type of better weapon and some more money. Then you get the best part. You can decide whether or not to sink the ship and take all its resources. Important stuff. Important stuff. Once the epic sea battle concludes, it's noticed that her ship has taken quite a bit of damage. Pulling over on an island, the captain instructs the crew to start working on repairs, and just as a good captain would, he will not wait on the boat, but wait on the island and watch them, so they work faster.
I ordered my crew to drop the anchor off the coast. It was necessary to start cutting timber quickly. I did not stay on the ship and went ashore, thinking that my presence would speed up the repair process. And I was not mistaken.
Can I just take this moment to talk about the voice actor? I don't know why, but he's dragging out tons of words when he talks as if that's somehow conveying more emotion or adding to the characteristic vocal range.
The fights were getting intense. Should I practice more?
Why do you keep doing it? I can't seem to have a sentence without dragging through a bunch of words. On the island, we talked to one of our crew members about gaining help from local tribesmen. Luckily, not too far off, there's some hanging around who are willing to help repair and even give wood if we'll trade with some weapons. I know I can make some moral choices here, but I'll be honest, I didn't really understand what I was gaining or losing through the most part. I felt like I could choose anything. With the ship all nice and freshly repaired, we take off back to the sea, but not without meeting up with Catherine. She shows up to say, hey, I don't have the cargo I promised, but I know where we can get some. So with Catherine, you come up with a Fast and Furious style ship heist, where she's gonna shoot things this way and you're gonna shoot things that way. And none of that happens because I just boarded the ship. I shot it a few times and boarded the ship. As you would expect, you go through the same cycle of fighting some above deck, some down below, and killing the captain while gaining loot. Only this time, it follows up with a cinematic of Catherine trying to find what she's looking for, but she can't. And then she does. And of course, it leads to more ships with more gold.
Catherine's eyes shone brighter and brighter with each line read. The anticipation of imminent riches was burning inside of her.
At this point, the captain admits to his inner self that he's taking a liking towards Catherine and agrees to make a plan on rebuilding their crew and gaining back weapons and ammunition. This is where you as the captain split with Catherine, I did not mean to rhyme that, and go to Barbados to do so. This is where the demo ends and we don't get any more of the game. I don't know if Barbados was a thing that is demo limited or it's in early access, but you left me hanging. My final thoughts are that even though this is a demo, by description, this all feels very shallow and just minorly in place. There should be so much more going on in this game than there actually is, even though I will admit, I was still having quite a bit of fun. But how long that fun would actually last is really hard to say, but my guess is probably not too long. After recording a lot of this, the game has come out and it's charging $17.99, which in my opinion isn't a bad price, but for where it's at right now, at least from the demo perspective, I don't know if I'd be willing to fork it over. But here's the deal. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you would want to see me play the full version or the actual early access game and make a video review and overview on that, because trust me, I got the ship, I got the crew, and I got the determination, all right? I just need to know that you're out there, now you want to see it. I might do it anyway.